Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. The NFC East is off to a rough start here for the first 3 weeks of the season, to say the least. You have two teams at 0-3, the Giants and the Redskins. You have the Eagles at 1-2, and the Cowboys, who have actually been playing decently this year with a record of 2-1. Their only loss coming on the road to what looks like to be a pretty good Kansas City Chiefs team. But the focus of this video is going to be on those two 0-3 teams, the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants, and just which one is a more disappointing 0-3 at this time. And just to take both teams in a snapshot real quick, the Washington Redskins, their first two games were really hampered by slow starts. Okay, evident by their games against the Eagles and the Packers. They started off very slow, got down a lot of points, found themselves playing catch up most of the second half. Okay, then they come out today, get off to a little bit of a stronger start, shoot themselves in the foot a couple times, and lose a closer game at home to the Lions. And I think I'm not as surprised in the Redskins 0-3 start though, because you had a second year quarterback in Robert Griffin, coming off of an offseason where he didn't have one because of his injury. And now you're expecting him with no reps in the offseason to just come in and take off pretty much continue where he left off last year. And you have to remember, this Redskins team was down and out last year, and they made a miraculous comeback in the second half of the season as a team, to even make the playoffs. So I didn't really consider Washington to be a playoff team coming into the season anyway. And not to mention that Griffin didn't have any offseason. I think it was a little bit unrealistic to expect that out of the gates, he would be putting up the prolific numbers, running for the amount of yards he did last year. So their start doesn't surprise me, especially when you consider I think they just got ambushed the first game, not knowing fully what to expect from Chip Kelly's offense. I think in week 2, they just played a better team in Green Bay. And in week 3, I think they played a team that was even with them, and Detroit just made plays when they needed to. And if you saw the game, that Aldrick Robinson touchdown catch that was overturned in the end zone, that was really the determining factor in the game. That swung the whole momentum of the game. I think if that touchdown stands, you see a completely different outcome to this game. And we're sitting here talking about the Redskins being 1-2, but they're not. So the Redskins, I don't think as disappointing as the Giants, because look, that Redskins defense just doesn't have good players on it. There's not much you can do about that. They've let up almost 1,500 yards of offense in 3 games. You go to the Giants, you have a core of guys on that team that have proven at the highest level that they can win. Whether it's an Eli Manning, Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz, Justin Tuck on the defensive side of the ball, Antro Roll on the defensive side of the ball, certainly Jason Pierre-Paul as well. And you just see that missing that those two giant Super Bowl teams had in 2007 and years later here in 2011 as well. They just had that factor that when the chips were down, they played their best football, and it doesn't look like this team has that. And I always get back to, I think that defensive pass rush the Giants had for all those years really masked a lot of problems they had in their linebacking core and their secondary. And I think that pass rush, as you can see, is a shell of what it used to be. And I think you're seeing a lot of warts develop on that defense because of that. I mean, Cam Newton just went wild on them today, throwing for 3 touchdowns, running for another one. But on the offensive side of the ball is where it's really surprising me, because that offensive line is becoming a gigantic problem. Eli Manning, look, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions to start the season. He's not an 8-interception quarterback in 3 games. He has enough of a track record in my mind where, yeah, he's been inconsistent at times during the regular season. He's had streaks where he's played bad, but not this consistent, and he's never gotten hit this much in his career, and I think it's really taking a toll on him. And I don't think it's not that Victor Cruz and Hakeem Nicks aren't open, it's that he doesn't have time to find them. And I think what would help that is obviously shoring up the offensive line and getting more of a consistent running attack threat as well. But I think the Giants are with a Super Bowl coach and a Super Bowl quarterback, you wouldn't think you'd see a team go through a stretch like they're going now, where they just look awful on both sides of the ball, when I think they have some talent to make things happen, because I've seen it. With the Redskins, the bottom line is I don't think they have a very good defense. I don't think they have very good players on defense. So I don't know how much more you could really expect from them. And I think they need Robert Griffin to play like Superman in order to win. and he's just not physically capable of doing that right now. But let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is the more disappointing 0-3 team in the NFC East? Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm always talking football on here. Always interested in hearing what you think. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for listening, and have a great night.